I am usually pretty unflappable when it comes to worrying about cruises or trips that Gordon and I are going to take, but some news that I received yesterday has got me a little bit worried about our Panama Canal cruise. We're also going to talk about a lot of the news articles that I am seeing regarding the big news yesterday Celebrity had about entering the river cruise market. I came across one that I don't agree with, so I'm going to tell you about that because I want your input as well. And we've got a ship that's going to be arriving sooner than any of us expected. And I also have my Panama Canal books here, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the 3 that I bought, what I think is worth buying and what you don't need to buy. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Wednesday. It is January 29th of 2025. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please go ahead and click on that subscribe button? We need to have you with us. And if you appreciate my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? Thank you so very much. Let's start at the top talking about this article. And it kind of mirrors what some other ones I have come across are saying as well about Celebrity entering the river cruise market. So let me be first to say, if I didn't say it and make it clear enough yesterday, I'm really excited that Celebrity has decided to dip their toe in the river cruise market. I think it's going to be wonderful. It's going to add another layer of options for guests. It will be a little bit different than everything else, just like other cruise lines are a little bit different from each other on the rivers as well as on the oceans. So I'm really excited about it. When I was looking through all of the investment articles following up on this, I came across one that the title of the article says, Viking facing rough waters as Celebrity enters the river cruise market. And so whoever wrote this, I don't think has ever been on a river cruise. But what they said was, it says, Viking has carved out a profitable niche in the river cruise segment with smaller ships that are designed to access ports that are not available to larger ships, such as those in the Royal Caribbean fleet. Viking itineraries are targeted for an older, more affluent passenger. But then they go on to say that Celebrity, a wholly owned subsidiary of Royal Caribbean, plans to muscle in on the lucrative river cruise category with an initial order of 10 transformative ships. And it says that they will compete directly with Viking with itineraries through iconic rivers in Europe. So I think that anybody that would read that would maybe think, oh my, things are not going to go well for a Viking now. But you want to know what? First of all, if you own Viking stock or you love sailing on Viking, you don't need to worry about anything with that. Viking is not going to have rough waters because Celebrity is putting 10 ships in the water. That is just not how Viking is situated in this market, even remotely. So I want you to know that. Another thing to keep in mind is the tremendous demand, not only for ocean cruising, but for river cruising that we are seeing sustained. Demand was huge before COVID, and it has come roaring back and really surpassed what anyone expected in those pre-COVID days. And so Viking, the other cruise lines, you think of your Alma Waterways, your Uniworld, your Avalon. Avalon, by the way, did you know they're part of Globus and a whole lot of things going on there? But we've been on Avalon, absolutely loved it. But you have lots of different river cruise lines. And I think that they're all going to do great. What really stands out is if you look at a lot of the itineraries for this summer, you are going to find out that a lot of them are sold. When Gordon and I booked our cruise that we're going to do July 15th, that goes from Amsterdam, there in the Netherlands, down to Basel, Switzerland, there was a lot of availability, and this was just probably like maybe 6 weeks ago. And mind you, there are lots of Viking ships as well as other cruise lines that are going between Basel and Amsterdam. But do you know what? As we look at those now, like the one we chose is sold out, and there was a lot of availability when we chose. And so demand is very strong. So I just want you to know everything is okay with all of the cruise lines. We're still going to be able to choose the experience that we want and take the cruise that matches with that. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. I'd really appreciate hearing from all of you. The only thing I can see that might get a little bit better is with all of these, the added capacity, maybe we will get a little bit downward pressure on pricing, but we'd have to have demand fall off a little bit for that as well. So we'll just see how things shape up together, shall we? Okay, here's the big news that has me a little bit worried about our Panama Canal cruise. And I've thought about what I'm going to do about it, and so I want to hear what you would do about it, because I'll take all the help I can get. So a guest who is on the Coral Princess right now sent me one of our Let's Go family members that's coming on our Panama Canal cruise. They were able to get that notice and shared it with me. So there is actually what they call a public health advisory that the crew of the Coral Princess put out to all of their guests. And so today, while that ship is docked in Point Arenas, Costa Rica, they are going to be doing a deep cleaning of the ship, to the point that they recommend that the guests disembark the ship while the cleaning is going on, because some of the services and options are not going to be available during that time. They're going to be doing your room. They're going to be doing the whole ship. You might think, well, how many people were sick? When the ship was just in Guatemala, they reported that 59 out of the 1,894 passengers and 12 of the 885 crew members had come down with the norovirus symptoms. So that's basically a gastrointestinal illness. And so that's what's going on board the Coral Princess right now. I am one of those people, I do not think that a cruise ship is a floating petri dish. We are having one of the sickest seasons that we have had. I've talked about it here on the channel before. So many people are coming down with influenza, gastrointestinal stuff, with RSV, and so there is just so much going around, and people have to travel to get on a cruise ship. Opens them up to having, being in places where they're exposed to even more people. And so it doesn't surprise me that you would get on board a ship and have some people show up sick. Now, here's some things that I worry about. I really worry about with the norovirus. It is transmitted by touch. It is not transmitted, it's not airborne, it is by touch. So one of the things I'm going to do, and if anybody in our group would like to give me a hard time at the time I'm doing it, it's okay. I am going to take gloves with me to use in the buffet. Anytime we're going to eat in the buffet, I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to put on my gloves. I am going to get my food. And then I actually know how to remove gloves the way you're supposed to do it, like in the medical profession, so you don't transmit any germs onto your hands or onto anyone else. And so I'll take them off, and then I'm going to go wash my hands again, and then I'm going to eat my food. And hopefully this will really help not get any germs transmitted from touching any of the serving utensils there in the buffet. I'm also probably not going to eat any fresh fruit that people can touch and then put back, and then I would choose it. So let me know, what would you do to be extra careful? And I wash my hands all the time anyway. That's kind of a thing with me, and so I'll be washing my hands lots otherwise. So if anybody has any other suggestions or what you're going to do on your cruise, and I have no idea if it will make a difference or not, but it makes me feel better to be careful. And meanwhile, I really hope everyone on the Coral Princess is doing well. I would really like it if cruise lines would just decide to have the crew members serve the food. That would take away a layer of risk, and I don't know. Tell me what you think about that in the comments as well. Okay, so yesterday I gave you a good rundown. If you missed my video yesterday, you should go watch it, because I gave you a really good rundown of how the number of cabins is increasing in 2025 for cruisers. One of the ships I talked about, Star of the Seas, which is Royal Caribbean's new ship, sister ship with Icon of the Seas. So think largest cruise ship in the world. Again. Okay, so we'll have two largest cruise ships in the world. And the big news with that, though, is, about a year ago, I want to say a year ago, let me know if you could remember better than I do, but they announced that she would have to be a little bit late. And so they moved back her inaugural sailings, but they have just received word that she is going to be ready just a little bit earlier than they expect. So her original maiden voyage is scheduled for August 31st this year out of Port Canaveral. So a lot of people are booked on that. You have the really special inaugural cruise things. You get, it talked about swag. I'm excited to hear what everybody gets for that. But they have that all ready to go. But they are doing two short sailings right before that will be sailing on August 23rd and August 27th. So just short 4-night sailings. And they are giving people who are booked on that August 31st sailing first go at, if you want to book those sailings as well, or if you would rather trade over to going on those sailings rather than the August 31st sailing. That availability is going to come online tomorrow, that the guests can do that. They have until February 6th to make up their mind if they want to do that. But Royal Caribbean said that those 2 early sailings are not going to be inaugural sailings. They will still be really cool. They expect guests to have a wonderful time, but they're not going to have all the bells and whistles of an inaugural cruise like the August 31st sailing. So if I were booked on that August 31st sailing, and I really enjoyed being the first guest on board a ship, I would go ahead and book those other sailings. But if you're just going for that whole inaugural thing, I would stay on the 31st because it's not going to happen on the others. So let me know in the comments if any of you are booked on that August 31st sailing, or if maybe you want to look at picking up one of these other short 4-day cruises because you either didn't get a space on the August 31st or that shorter sailing time appeals to you more. Yeah, I'd really be excited to hear about that. So thanks. Alrighty, now we're going to talk about our Panama Canal books. I forgot to do it yesterday, so here we are today. I bought 3 books, bought them on Amazon, and I'm going to tell you what I think. Okay, so first of all, we've got the 66 Fascinating Facts for Kids, all about the Panama Canal. This is a really nice, just brief overview. It doesn't take very long to read. It's got big letters and big font there on it, and it's just a really nice, very brief overview. I'm going to hang on to this in case any of the my grandkids want to read it as you know, times come up. And but this one was not expensive and it's great. Next up, I bought the Panama Canal Cruise Guide 2024-2025. I think this is the kind of book where they just change the dates, you know, every year, and then people buy it. Okay, it's really very, very basic. It'll tell you some really basic information about some ports, really basic information about being on a ship, but all of the information really that you need to know about going on a Panama Canal cruise is in this book. So I don't really feel like you need this one. I feel like this is the one that you're going to need. Okay, this is cruising coast to coast through the Panama Canal, and it has all the amazing information that you need to go about going on a Panama Canal cruise. So it includes the history of the Panama Canal, things about how it was built. It includes some of the ports that you would maybe be stopping at on your trip, and it includes like a play-by-play of what you're going to be seeing as you're going through the canal, either from Los Angeles to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, or if you're going the other direction, if you're doing a partial transit. It is really a worthwhile book. I know that our whole experience on the day that we're transiting the Panama Canal is going to be richer from what I have learned from this book so far, and I'm not even done reading it, so I'm going to bring it with me. It's that good. I'm going to bring it with me, lug this book with me when we go on the Panama Canal cruise. And so if you decide that you would like to get one, in the first comment below under this video, Gordon is going to put our Amazon links to it. If you buy something using our link, we earn a tiny commission, so thank you very much for doing that. But I just wanted to give you a good overview because I'm always buying books about the places that we're going to visit, and I'll try to share with you the ones that I keep and the ones that I think are really worthwhile. I end up keeping some that I never look at again, and I'm trying to get better at not doing that. I have not read this whole book. I've been so careful with it. I will probably send it back. And I very, very rarely send a book back to Amazon because I'm a book person. But there's no need really for that one. And so as long as you've got this, you're going to know everything in that book and a whole lot more. So I hope this helps you a little bit. Even if you're not going to get to go on a Panama Canal cruise ever, read this book. It'll put you in that place. He has great photos that he took as he was doing it. It's a really good book. So thanks so much for joining me here today. I'll look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.